Angela Lansbury, a beloved star of the screen and stage, has died at 96. Angela Lansbury was destined to become an actress, born in London, England in 1925. Her mother was a leading lady of the British stage. Although Lansbury was best known for her role as Jessica Fletcher in the long-running CBS TV series, Murder, She Wrote, she had a distinguished career in the movies and on Broadway. Lansbury was born to an upper-middle-class family on 16 October 1925 in the district of St Pancras in central London. Her birthplace is sometimes given, wrongly, as Poplar, East London. Lansbury said that she had ancestral connections to Poplar but was born in Regent's Park, central London. Her mother was Belfast-born actress Moyna McGill, born Charlotte Lillian McEldowie, who regularly appeared on stage in the West End and who had also starred in several films. Her father was the wealthy English timber merchant and politician Edgar Lansbury, a member of the Communist Party of Great Britain and former mayor of the Metropolitan Borough of Poplar. Her paternal grandfather was the Labour Party leader and anti-war activist George Lansbury, a man whom she felt awed by and considered a giant in my youth. Angela had an older half-sister, Isolde, who was the daughter of Moyna's previous marriage to writer and director Reginald Denham. In January 1930, when Angela was 4, her mother gave birth to twin boys, Bruce and Edgar, leading the Lansburys to move from their Poplar flat to a house in Mill Hill, North London. On weekends they would vacate to a rural farm in Berwick-Salome, near Wallingford, Oxfordshire. When Lansbury was 9, her father died from stomach cancer and she retreated into playing characters as a coping mechanism. Facing financial difficulty, her mother became engaged to a Scottish colonel, Lecky Forbes, and moved into his house in Hampstead, with Lansbury receiving an education at South Hampstead High School from 1934 until 1939. She nevertheless considered herself largely self-educated, learning from books, theatre and cinema. She became a self-professed, complete movie maniac, visiting the cinema regularly and imagining herself as certain characters. Keen on playing the piano, she briefly studied music at the Rittman School of Dancing, and in 1940 began studying acting at the Webber Douglas School of Singing and Dramatic Art in Kensington, West London, first appearing on stage as a lady-in-waiting in the school's production of Maxwell Anderson's Mary of Scotland. That year, Angela's grandfather died, and with the onset of the Blitz, McGill decided to take Angela, Bruce and Edgar to the United States. Isolde remained in Britain with her new husband, the actor Peter Ustinov. McGill secured a job supervising 60 British children who were being evacuated to North America aboard the Duchess of Athol, arriving with them in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, in mid-August. From there, she proceeded by train to New York City, where she was financially sponsored by a Wall Street businessman, Charles T. Smith, moving in with his family at their home at Mahopac, New York. Lansbury gained a scholarship from the American Theatre Wing, allowing her to study at the Fagan School of Drama and Radio, where she appeared in performances of William Congreve's The Way of the World and Oscar Wilde's Lady Windermere's Fan. She graduated in March 1942, by which time the family had moved to a flat on Morton Street in Greenwich Village in the New York City borough of Manhattan. Lansbury got the acting bug as a teenager, playing Audrey in a student production of As You Like It. Appearing on stage was intoxicating, she told Fresh Air's Terry Gross in 2000. I suddenly got the feel and the smell of being able to make an effect by the way I played the role, the way I comported myself, all of the physical aspects of acting suddenly came to me and I got a laugh. You know, the first time I did it. With the Battle of Britain raging, Lansbury and her mother moved to the United States in 1940 and settled in Hollywood 2 years later. She got her first screen role, as the saucy housemaid Nancy in Gaslight, directed by George Cukor, at the age of 17. Lansbury was nominated for an Oscar for her Gaslight performance and appeared in many more films, from The Picture of Dorian Gray to The Harvey Girls, often playing women much older than she actually was. "I was never going to get to play the girl next door, and I was never going to be groomed to be a glamorous movie star, and I sort of realized that, so I had to make peace with myself on that score," she said. Perhaps her most memorable Hollywood performance was as the evil mother of the brainwashed Lawrence Harvey in The Manchurian Candidate in 1962. Lansbury moved to New York to star on Broadway and scored an enormous triumph in Jerry Herman's Mame in 1966, says theater historian Lawrence Maslon. Angela Lansbury really threw herself in front of the bus to get that part. Maslon says, and, lo and behold, when she walked down that staircase in gold lame pajamas, in 1966, she was 40 years old and Broadway embraced her in a way that it has embraced few actresses in its storied history. Lansbury said she was a bit surprised to find a real home in musical theatre. Speaking to the Dick Cavett Show in 1971, Lansbury said she spoke in a Cockney English accent when she moved to the United States but had since lost her original native accent. She held Irish citizenship. Biographer Martin Gottfried characterized her as meticulous, cautious, self-editing, deliberate. It is what the British call reserved, adding that she was as concerned, as sensitive, and as sympathetic as anyone might want in a friend. Also noting that she had a profound sense of privacy, he added that she disliked attempts at flattery. Lansbury was married twice, first to actor Richard Cromwell, when she was 19 and Cromwell was 35. They eloped and were married in a small civil ceremony on the 27th of September 1945. They divorced in 1946, but remained friends until his death in 1960. In 1949, Lansbury married actor and producer Peter Shaw, and they remained together for 54 years until his death in 2003. She acquired a stepson, David, from Shaw's first marriage. They had 2 children of their own, Anthony Peter, b. 1952, and Deirdre Ann, b. 1953. While Lansbury repeatedly stated that she wanted to put her children before her career, she admitted that she often had to leave them in California for long periods when she was working elsewhere. She brought up her children to be Episcopalian, although they were not members of a congregation. She stated, "I believe that God is within all of us, that we are perfect, precious beings, and that we have to put our faith and trust in that." Lansbury died in her sleep at her home in Los Angeles, California, on the morning of the 11th of October 2022, at the age of 96, 5 days before her 97th birthday.